welcome to the teaching module for Viva Spanish language programs. In this module, we are going to talk about teaching with the Viva Spanish method. We won't get into specifics about the curriculum just yet, but rather we will be reviewing tips, tricks, methods, and the learning environment we promote at Viva Spanish. To begin, let's talk about the school environment you will be in as a Spanish teacher. You will be a part-time teacher at each of the schools you work at, meaning you will not be there as often as the full-time staff. We still recommend that you try to develop relationships with the other teachers in the school. Taking the time to sit and have lunch or coffee in the teacher's lounge can go a long way to building relationships. We also encourage you to collaborate with the other specials teachers throughout the year. For example, the week you teach your students about the Mexican holiday, Day of the Dead, coordinate with the art teacher so students can make a craft that aligns with the Day of the Dead topic. It is a great way to reinforce their learning from Spanish class, as well as giving the specials teachers new and creative ideas for their own classes. In addition, principals will love to see their specials teachers working together. At Viva Spanish language programs, we want to create a classroom environment where all students are appreciated and valued. The atmosphere should be non-threatening, respectful, and calm. Students react best to a fun classroom full of positive reinforcement and relatable topics. Students should look forward to their weekly Spanish time and want to engage. The energy that will happen in your class will start with the own energy that you put out into the classroom. Here are some of the behaviors that help to achieve a great learning environment. Extensive use and examples of the Spanish language in the classroom, continual positive reinforcement, low stress correction of student errors through modeling and by example, meaningful communication through activities, personal questions and answers, in-class recognition of birthdays, achievements, important events in students' lives, and positive displays of student work. A nurturing and positive attitude towards students' efforts and toward the Spanish language and culture. A stimulating, flexible agenda in which students are actively participating and communicating. Another key element in establishing an excellent learning environment is the interactions you have with your students. Encouraging, respectful, and positive language should always be used. Treat every student equally, do not show favoritism, and do not compare the students. Each child is special in their own way. Students should never be publicly humiliated or embarrassed. Never discuss a child's grade during class or around other students. This is something that should be discussed privately. When discipline is necessary, pull the student aside to speak with them about their behavior. We will discuss behavior more in the coming modules. Our goal for our students in all of our programs, pre-K through 8, is to expose them to the Spanish language and culture, increase their interest and confidence in the language, develop Spanish speaking, listening, reading, and writing skills, and make the Spanish language meaningful and enjoyable. The 4 main Spanish skills that we seek to achieve with our students include listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Our goal is to build a solid foundation on which our students can become lifelong language learners. We also want to prepare them to go into Spanish once they get to high school. Develop a routine for your class. This means each class should have a definitive start and end. For example, in my own class, I have a song to both start and end each class. This is a great way to indicate to students that Spanish time is beginning or ending in a way that is fun and energetic. Routines are very important, even with the older students. There should always be some sort of classroom routine that is followed weekly in each lesson, whether it be starting class with a song, game, or other activity that your students enjoy. Outside of your routines to begin and end the class, it is also important to provide students with activities that will engage different types of learners. In contrast with creating routines, younger students respond very well to activities that are new, fun, and engaging. There are several different types of learning, including visual, auditory, and physical. Because there will be different types of learners in your classroom, create lesson plans with activities for each so that you can help create a great learning environment for each individual student. Here are some examples for the different types of learners you have in your class. Visuals include videos, photos, comics, and drawings. Physical activities include games that require movement, motions and songs, chants, and stations. For the auditory learner, songs and chants, questions and answers, activities, reciting sequence, and interviewing are all good methods. Use music in every class. Even with the older students, at least one song should be used each class, and with younger students, at least 3 or more songs. Younger students are often very excited to sing and dance in Spanish class. You can make music part of your routine or change the music each week. Teach students the motions to the words of certain songs or chants. Incorporate movement as much as possible. It helps many students to focus better on the material being taught. We want our students to sing Spanish songs in the hallways on the days that they have class. If you are not a strong singer, just turn up the volume and lip sing the words like I do. At the end of the day, music is one of the most impactful learning tools you can use with your students. My next tip is to overplan your lessons for the week. It is always better to have too many things to do in class rather than not enough. In the Spanish classroom, activities should change every 3 to 5 minutes so that you can fit a lot of content into a short period of time and keep the attention of all of your students. It is always a good idea to stop the activity when students are having the most fun so that they will be excited and look forward to that activity again in the future. Always have a few activities lined up in case your lesson finishes sooner than you expect. Overplan for each lesson, but also remember not to plan too far ahead. There will be days when Spanish gets interrupted by a fire drill or a field trip, or some days you just don't get done what you're expecting to finish. And you need to be ready for those types of changes within your schedule. So remember to overplan, but don't plan too far ahead. Remember to use your resources. Viva Spanish is providing you with a wealth of resources to aid you in your planning and execution of lessons. You have access to our Teacher Talk page, our Pinterest account, our Viva Spanish team, as well as your lessons. Read over your materials, reference them in class, and please ask me questions if you have them. Me and the team are available to assist you anytime you need us. Now, my final bit of advice is probably the best advice. Have fun. What we do is so cool. We get to teach kids Spanish. Make it fun. If you're not enjoying it, they won't either. But don't worry, I promise you'll enjoy it. This concludes our teaching module. I hope you enjoyed learning about your role as a teacher through Viva Spanish. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. By now you should have my cell phone number saved in your phone and have it on speed dial. Text, call, email anytime you need me. Gracias. Adios.